All right, so get this right. We're talking Harry Potter.
Okay.
But in the Warhammer 40K universe,
Yeah.
we're going like way beyond just like a few aesthetic changes,
Right.
full-blown grimdark reimagining of Chamber of Secrets,
Oh,
the whole
wow.
thing.
Yeah.
So buckle up because things are going to get pretty heretical.
This is gonna be good. I can already tell.
I think so. I mean, just the premise alone, right?
Oh,
It's like,
really?
how do you even begin to translate a story? I mean, like,
Yeah.
that's all about magic and wonder and like,
Right. Yeah.
this kind of whimsical, adventurous tone
Right.
into a universe that's just defined by like
Yeah.
relentless darkness and brutality and just constant conflict.
Yeah, that's what's so exciting about it, right? It's like this incredible opportunity
Yeah.
to kind of explore these familiar characters and themes, but
Yeah.
through this entirely different lens, right? This like dystopian sci-fi lens.
Yeah, it's a total clash of tones. And I think that's where the real fun is going to come in, right?
Excellent.
So instead of like Hogwarts and Hogsmeade
Right.
and like the British countryside and all that,
Yeah.
we're dropping Harry straight into the heart of the Imperium.
Oh, okay.
Holy Terra itself.
Oh, wow.
We're talking colossal Gothic structures,
Okay.
cathedrals turned into factories, smog-choked skies,
Yeah.
a population just grappling with like the harsh realities of constant warfare.
Right. So forget those, those quaint little villages and rolling hills.
Yeah.
We're talking about a completely different beast here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So like just picture Harry, right?
Yeah.
Instead of being in a cupboard under the stairs,
Right.
He's like a gutter snipe, right? Eking out an existence in the shadow of like some monumental structure dedicated to the God Emperor.
Yeah.
It's a complete 180 from Privet Drive.
Oh, absolutely. And that's just the setting, right?
Right.
We haven't even touched on like Harry's magic. I mean, wands and spells don't exactly scream 40K, do they?
No, not really.
Like bolters and chainswords.
Yeah, totally different vibe.
Yeah, so what happens to his magic then?
So in this reimagined universe,
Okay.
Harry wouldn't be a wizard, he'd be a psyker.
Okay, a psyker, so someone with...
Someone with raw, untamed psychic abilities.
Okay, but that's got to be a problem, right?
Oh, huge problem.
I mean, the Imperium, psykers are...
Yeah, they're viewed with suspicion
Right.
and fear. Right.
Right, because they're...
They're seen as potential conduits for chaos.
Yeah.
Capable of unleashing, like, unimaginable horrors.
Right, so even if Harry's just like,
Yeah.
doing what he thinks is accidental magic,
Right.
he's already a target, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that's a lot of pressure for an 11-year-old.
It is. It's a far cry from accidentally turning your teacher's hair blue.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like every weird thing that happens,
Yeah.
every little flicker of psychic energy could draw the attention of, like, the black ships.
Exactly, the Inquisition. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's...
They're not messing around.
No, they're not. So, like, talk about a constant sense of paranoia and tension.
Right.
Like, that's just baked into Harry's life now.
Yeah. It's a completely different level of stakes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and speaking of paranoia and tension,
Okay.
what happens to Dobby in all of this?
Oh, Dobby.
I mean, you can't have Harry Potter without his trusty house elf, can you?
Well, this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because in the Warhammer 40K universe, AI is strictly forbidden.
Right.
So Dobby can't be a house elf.
Okay.
So one possibility is that he's a servitor.
A servitor, so like...
Yeah, a lobotomized human,
Uh-huh.
wired into a mechanical shell and programmed for servitude.
Okay,
That is
so a servitor Dobby, huh?
Yeah.
That's a pretty wild image.
It is
Kind of disturbing.
A little bit.
But also intriguing, right?
Yeah.
Like, imagine him trying to help Harry,
Yeah.
but his like clumsy servitor programming
Right.
like results in some servo skull mishap
Oh, yeah.
that causes chaos in like some crowded marketplace or something.
Absolutely. It could be darkly comedic,
Yeah.
yet tragic at the same time.
Yeah, and I love the dramatic irony there, right?
Right.
Because we, the audience, we know Dobby's intentions.
Yeah, we know he's trying to help.
He's trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
But everyone in the 40K universe is just going to see it as like...
Malfunction or even malice.
Yeah, like what is that thing doing?
Yeah.
Get it away from me.
Yeah.
And that just... it adds this whole other layer of complexity to their relationship.
It does. It does.
Which I think just really captures the grim, unforgiving nature of 40K, right?
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
But, okay, so we've got Harry in this crazy world.
Yeah.
He's got Servitor Dobby.
Right.
But where does he go to school?
Oh, that's a good question.
It can't be Hogwarts, can it?
No, definitely not Hogwarts as we know it.
Okay, so what's the 40K equivalent?
So picture the Scala Progenium.
Scala Progenium, what's that?
It's a brutal training ground for the
Yeah.
Imperium's elite.
So, like, where they take...
Yeah, they take orphans, often those touched by war,
Uh-huh.
and mold them into soldiers, assassins,
Whoa,
other servants of the Emperor.
that's intense.
Yeah, it's a harsh, unforgiving environment.
Yeah.
Discipline and obedience are paramount.
Okay, so
That's-
instead of learning spells and playing Quidditch,
Right.
we've got rigorous drills
Yeah,
and indoctrination into Imperial dogma.
exactly.
I mean, this isn't just a change of scenery.
No,
This is like a complete overhaul of his formative years.
it is. It is.
And what about the houses?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Like, are there 40K equivalents to like Gryffindor and Slytherin and all that?
Well, I mean, you could almost see the different Scala Progenium factions
Yeah.
as mirroring the houses
Yeah.
in a way.
Oh, okay, I like that. How so?
Well, like imagine Gryffindor courage and chivalry.
Yeah.
That could be reflected in a regiment,
Uh-huh.
training for the Imperial Guard, right?
Yeah.
The cunning and ambition of Slytherin,
Yeah.
that could be found among the recruits destined for the Officio Assassinorum.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it maintains like the spirit of the houses,
Right.
but adapts them to this brutal reality of the
Yes.
40K universe.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so we've reimagined the setting,
Yeah.
Harry's magic,
Uh-huh.
even Hogwarts.
Right.
But what about our main antagonist,
Okay.
who takes on the role of Lucius Malfoy in this grimdark tale?
All right. So instead of a pure-blood supremacist
Yeah.
obsessed with wizarding politics,
All right.
imagine Lucius as like a high-ranking imperial noble, like
Okay.
maybe a planetary governor
Right.
or a powerful member of the Adeptus Arbites,
Oh, wow.
someone obsessed with power and status
Yeah.
within the Imperium's vast hierarchy.
Okay, I can see it.
Think over-the-top Gothic armor,
Yeah.
dripping with ill-gotten wealth, entourage of servo skulls, broadcasting propaganda and monitoring his every whim.
Okay, so he's not just some snooty wizard anymore.
You know,
He's like a cog in this vast oppressive machine.
he is.
Now that's a villain worthy of 40K.
Right.
But what about Ginny Weasley?
Oh.
How does she fit into this?
Yeah.
Is she still Lucius's target?
Well, not necessarily directly, right?
Okay.
Remember, Harry's a psyker,
Right.
a potential threat to the Imperium's control.
Yeah.
So Lucius might see him as this dangerous anomaly, someone who could disrupt his own schemes and rise to power.
Okay.
So Ginny then becomes a pawn
Right.
in a much larger game.
Yeah.
A way to manipulate Harry
Yeah.
to force him into a situation
Okay.
where Lucius can either exploit his powers or eliminate him altogether.
Oh, that's cold.
It is.
Like it adds this layer of sinister calculation to Lucius's actions.
Absolutely.
He's not just a bully. He's like a master manipulator.
Yeah.
Who sees people as tools to be used and discarded.
Exactly.
Which again, very 40K.
Very 40K.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
But we can't forget about the Chamber of Secrets itself.
Right.
Like we can't just have some dusty old dungeon
No.
in the heart of the Imperium.
No, we got to go bigger.
Yeah, we got to go full 40K, right?
Yo, 40K.
Yeah.
So what are we thinking?
All right, so instead of a hidden chamber,
Yeah.
imagine a long-lost Necron tomb
Okay.
buried deep beneath the surface of Holy Terra.
Oh, wow.
Picture imposing architecture,
Okay.
strange glyphs glowing with an eerie power,
Uh-huh.
maybe even a long-dead Cetan shard at its heart.
A Cetan shard.
Yeah, a fragment of a star god radiating with unimaginable energy.
Okay. So we're
Yeah.
talking ancient alien technology here.
We are.
Okay, a Necron tomb is definitely way cooler than a hidden chamber.
But how does it get opened?
Oh, that's a good question.
Does Lucius, like, intentionally activate it?
Perhaps not.
Okay.
Remember, Harry's a psyker.
Right.
So what if his uncontrolled powers,
Yeah.
his accidental bursts of psychic energy, create a resonance with the dormant Necron technology?
Okay,
Yeah.
so he could unintentionally trigger something,
Exactly.
unleashing forces he can't even comprehend.
Right, that classic 40K trope,
Yeah.
unintended consequences of meddling with ancient technology.
Yeah, it never ends well.
Never ends well.
Okay, so we've got the setting, we've got the players.
Yeah.
We've got this Necron tomb.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the monster inside?
The
We
monster.
can't just have a giant snake, right?
No, we need something a little more 40K.
Yeah, we need something more extinct.
You're extinct, yeah.
So what are we thinking?
All right, so instead of a basilisk,
Oh.
imagine a tyrannid biohorror.
A tyrannid biohorror. Okay.
Yeah, a creature adapted from countless worlds,
Okay.
draped and twisted by the tyrannid hive mind.
So not just a big snake.
No.
We're talking like a living weapon.
Yeah, dripping venom, radiating psychic might.
Okay, now we're talking. And the stakes are way higher than just petrification, right?
Absolutely.
We're talking grotesque mutations,
Yeah.
outright consumption, maybe even assimilation into the hive mind.
Right.
A giant snake in a bathroom suddenly seems pretty tame.
Very tame.
But is this basilisk?
Yeah.
Like directly controlled by the hive mind?
Oh, that's a good question.
Or is it like a rogue organism?
Yeah.
Drawn to the chamber's energy like Harry?
That's a really interesting question.
Yeah.
And it could add another layer of complexity and threat.
Right. Because
Yeah.
is it a deliberate incursion by the Tyrannids?
Right.
Or just like a stray splinter
Yeah.
attracted to Harry's his psychic presence?
Exactly. It raises the stakes considerably.
Yeah.
And injects a level of cosmic horror that's perfect for 40K.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is all shaping up to be quite the epic reimagining.
It is.
But we can't forget about Tom Riddle.
Right. Tom
Like
Riddle.
Voldemort as a straightforward villain
Yeah.
feels a bit underwhelming in this context, don't you think?
I agree.
We need something that reflects the insidious nature of chaos.
Right.
The warp's corrupting influence.
Yeah.
So what are we thinking?
Okay, so here's an idea. Instead of a dark wizard,
Yeah.
Tom Riddle is a demon host.
A demon host. So
Yeah, a psyker whose soul has become a vessel for a demon.
Okay, now we're talking.
Yeah.
And the diary.
Oh, the diary.
It's not just a magical object anymore, right?
No.
What is it?
In this reimagining, the diary is a chaos artifact.
Okay.
Perhaps a relic of Sienge, the changer of ways.
Okay.
It whispers promises of power to Harry,
Right.
tempting him to embrace the darkness within himself.
Right. And remember,
Yeah.
Riddle doesn't want to just rule Hogwarts.
No.
His goal is way grander.
It's much grander, yeah.
What's he after?
He wants to ascend to demonhood
Oh, wow.
by feeding the basilisk's souls, particularly those of psykers.
Okay, so he's not just a bully.
No.
He's a harbinger of chaos.
Yeah.
A threat to the very fabric of reality.
Exactly.
This is getting really dark.
It is.
But that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
Transplanting this story into 40K.
Yeah.
It's like the stakes are amplified, the
That's
threats are
fitting.
more existential,
Yeah.
and even familiar characters
Yeah.
take on this terrifying dimension.
Oh, they do.
But it's not just about darkness and horror, right?
Yeah.
It's also about
It's about exploring the resilience of the human spirit
yeah.
in the face of overwhelming odds.
Yeah.
It's about finding hope in the grimmest of circumstances.
Which is like the core of 40K, right?
It is.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we've got Harry, this latent psyker,
Yeah.
battling his own inner demons,
Right.
and the watchful eye of the Imperium, caught in this power play
Yeah.
between this ruthless imperial official
Yeah.
and this chaos-infused Tom Riddle.
Right.
And somewhere in the mix,
Yeah.
we've got a tyrannid bio-horror lurking in a Necron tomb beneath Holy Terra.
Exactly.
I mean, how does this even play out in a movie format?
Yeah. It's a lot to unpack.
It is. Like, what would the opening scene even look like?
Okay, so imagine this. We open on Holy Terra,
Okay.
the camera panning across these colossal structures
Right.
that just dwarf the teeming crowds below. You see the grandeur of the Imperium, but also the grime, the poverty,
Right.
the ever-present threat of violence that hangs in the air like smog.
Yeah, and amidst this bustling, this oppressive cityscape,
Yeah.
we find Harry.
Right.
But he's not this wide-eyed innocent schoolboy anymore, right?
No.
He's streetwise.
Yeah.
He's a survivor,
Uh-huh.
hardened by life on the streets,
Yeah.
constantly on guard, always trying to blend in, to hide his psychic abilities. Yeah, you could even have like flashbacks,
Oh, yeah.
like glimpses of his past,
Okay.
maybe the tragic death of his parents,
Mm-hmm.
but not in some quiet suburb, right?
Yeah.
Like in a brutal firefight against orcs or chaos cultists.
Exactly. It would establish the stakes right away.
Yeah.
Showing the constant threat of violence that permeates this world.
Yeah, it would immediately establish that contrast between his life in the original story and this grimdark existence.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. I like it. I like it. And speaking of contrasts, let's introduce Dobby. But not as this mischievous house elf.
Right.
We see a servitor.
Yeah.
His mechanical body like whirring and clanking. His speech stilted and programmed.
Yeah.
And he's been assigned to watch over Harry.
Right.
To report on his activities to someone.
To someone, yeah.
Ooh, that's intriguing.
It is.
Like, who's pulling Dobby's strings?
Right.
Is it Lucius?
Yeah.
The Imperium? Or maybe even like a faction within the Adeptus Mechanicus?
Ooh, could be.
Who have an interest in psykers, right?
Yeah, that's a mystery we could unravel throughout the film.
Yeah, I like that.
But for now, focus on that unsettling dynamic between Harry and Dobby.
Right.
Dobby, despite his limitations, senses the danger Harry's in, perhaps even picking up on that psychic resonance between Harry and the Necron tomb.
Okay.
And he tries to warn him, but his attempts are clumsy.
Right.
Hampered by his servitor programming.
Yeah.
Which only draws more attention to Harry.
Classic Dobby.
Classic Dobby.
He's trying to help.
Yeah.
But he's so bad at it. Which could lead to some really darkly comedic moments.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Like him accidentally short-circuiting some vital piece of Imperial infrastructure while trying to protect Harry.
Exactly.
And then we juxtapose that with Lucius Malfoy.
Okay.
Who we see operating at these highest levels of Imperial power.
Right.
He's not some bumbling fool.
No.
He's cunning.
Yeah.
He's ruthless. He's a manipulator.
Yeah.
And he understands the levers of power.
He does.
And he's learned about Harry.
Right.
About his potential as a psyker.
Yeah.
And he sees him as both a threat and a valuable asset.
Right.
Someone he can either control or eliminate.
Exactly.
This is all building to a fantastic confrontation.
It is.
But how does the Necron tomb, and by extension the Tyrannid bio-horror, come into play?
Okay, so imagine a scene where a group of tech priests, driven by their insatiable thirst for knowledge and ancient technology, they're excavating beneath the surface of Holy Terra.
Right.
And they stumble upon the Necron tomb, mistaking it for a treasure trove of forgotten tech.
Of course, they accidentally trigger something.
They trigger something, yeah.
Right.
Maybe they activate a dormant security system.
Yeah.
Or disrupt a containment field.
Right.
And the tomb stirs from its millennia-long slumber.
Okay, and we could even see glimpses of skeletal Necron warriors rising from their sarcophagi, their glowing eyes piercing the darkness as they prepare to reclaim their lost domain.
Exactly.
And amidst all this chaos, the Tyrannid bio-horror, drawn by the surge of energy, or maybe by Harry's his own psychic presence, bursts from its containment.
Right.
This thing is a nightmare. Right.
Yeah.
Pure instinct, hunger, capable of tearing through flesh and metal with equal ease. And it rampages through the excavation site, leaving a trail of carnage in its wake.
Exactly, and this is where Lucius sees his opportunity.
Okay.
He uses the chaos caused by the tomb's awakening to manipulate events.
Yeah.
Perhaps framing Ginny for the incident.
Okay.
Forcing Harry into this desperate situation where he has to confront both the Tyrannid bio-horror and the machinations of the Imperium.
Wow, this is intense.
It is.
So we've got Harry thrust into this life or death situation.
Right.
He's got to navigate the perils of a Necron tomb, a rampaging Tyrannid bio-horror, the manipulative schemes of Lucius Malfoy.
Right.
All while trying to control his own burgeoning psychic powers.
Exactly.
This is shaping up to be one heck of a movie.
It is.
Where do we go from here?
Well, now that we've set the stage, it's time to delve into Harry's journey into the heart of the Necron tomb, his encounter with the Tyrannid bio-horror.
And the revelation of Tom Riddle's true nature as a demon host.
This is getting good.
It is.
We've got a lot more ground to cover.
We do. Okay, so picture this Harry, driven by this desperate need to save Ginny.
Yeah.
And maybe fueled by this subconscious connection to the Necron technology.
Right.
Plunges into the depths of the awakened tombs.
He's going in blind, right?
Oh, yeah.
No map, no layout, no understanding of the technology.
No.
None whatsoever.
It's like sending a kid into a labyrinth.
Yeah.
Filled with death traps and ancient horrors.
Exactly. And remember, this isn't like some dusty old ruin.
Right.
This is an active Necron tomb filled with flickering energy fields, automated defenses, maybe even a few reactivated Necron warriors guarding their slumbering master.
Talk about a hostile work environment.
Oh, yeah.
This is a far cry from sneaking around Hogwarts after curfew.
It is. It is.
But it also creates some opportunities. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
For some incredible action sequences.
Yeah.
Like, imagine Harry using his raw psychic abilities to deflect incoming fire from Necron weaponry.
Okay.
To manipulate the tomb's environment.
Yeah.
Maybe even turn those automated defenses against the Necron warriors themselves.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Right.
It allows us to showcase Harry's evolving powers.
Yeah.
In a way that's both visually stunning and narratively compelling.
Right. And it highlights that inherent danger of those powers, right?
Yeah.
Every time Harry taps into the warp, he risks attracting the attention of demons.
Yeah.
Or worse, succumbing to the whispers of chaos himself.
Right. The lure of the dark side is always there.
Oh, yeah. Always lurking.
Yeah.
And remember, lurking somewhere in this technological labyrinth is this tyrannid bio-horror.
Right.
A creature of pure instinct and hunger.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is a recipe for some serious jump scares. Some heart-stopping encounters.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah, we could have scenes where Harry, senses the creature's presence. The air grows heavy with its psychic aura. The temperature drops as it approaches.
Right.
It could be a masterclass in suspense and horror.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And amidst all this chaos, we've got Lucius pulling strings from the shadows. Yeah. Using his influence to manipulate events within the tomb. Maybe sending agents to track Harry's progress. Like to steer him towards certain areas.
Sabotage his efforts.
Okay, so he's not just a passive observer.
No, he's actively involved.
He's playing this deadly game.
He is.
And don't forget about Tom Riddle.
Oh yeah, Tom Riddle.
As a demon host, he exists within the warp.
Right.
Able to subtly influence events.
Yeah.
In the material realm. So maybe he's whispering to Harry.
Yeah.
Tempting him with power.
Right.
Exploiting his fear and desperation.
Yeah.
Trying to lure him towards the dark side.
Absolutely. That constant temptation is always there.
Yeah, it's like a devil on his shoulder.
Exactly.
Whispering in his ear.
Yeah.
Okay, this is so much more layered and complex than the original story.
Right.
We've got action, suspense, horror.
Yeah.
Even a bit of psychological thriller thrown in.
Absolutely.
For good measure.
Yeah.
But how does Dobby factor into all of this?
Okay.
Is he still trying to protect Harry?
Yeah.
Even within the confines of the tomb.
Yeah, absolutely. Imagine Dobby, right?
Yeah.
His servitor programming struggling to reconcile these conflicting directives, obey Lucius's orders, but also protect Harry. He could be a source of both comic relief and unexpected aid. His clumsy attempts to help sometimes backfiring in hilarious ways.
Right.
But ultimately demonstrating a glimmer of genuine loyalty and compassion beneath his mechanical exterior.
So it's a way to maintain Dobby's essential character.
Exactly.
But adapt him to this grittier, more technologically advanced setting.
Yeah, it's finding that balance.
Right, and it provides some much needed levity.
Yes.
Amidst all the darkness and danger.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the climax of the film.
Okay.
How does Harry ultimately confront the tyrannid bio-horror?
Right.
And Tom Riddle's demon host?
All right, so picture this. Harry, having navigated the perils of the tomb, finally confronts the tyrannid bio-horror.
Okay.
But this isn't just a physical battle.
Right.
It's a psychic duel of epic proportions.
Okay.
Remember, the tyrannids are creatures of the warp, just like demons.
Wait.
They have this psychic presence, this connection to the Imperium that rivals even the most powerful psykers.
So we're not just talking claws and teeth here.
No.
We're talking like psychic blasts,
Yeah.
telekinetic throws, maybe even some reality-bending warp shenanigans.
Oh, absolutely. We can go full 40K here.
Yeah, let's get crazy with it.
Yeah.
And amidst this chaotic battle, Tom Riddle's Daemon host reveals himself.
Right.
Right. He's not just watching from the sidelines.
No.
He's an active participant.
Yeah.
He's whispering temptations.
Right.
Exploiting Harry's vulnerabilities, trying to nudge him towards the abyss of chaos.
Yeah, it's a battle for Harry's soul.
Right.
A struggle between his innate goodness and the seductive lure of forbidden power.
This is where the movie really hits its emotional peak.
It does.
Right.
Yeah.
Harry, he's exhausted.
Yeah.
He's wounded. He's facing overwhelming odds.
Right.
And he has to make a choice.
Yeah.
Does he succumb to the darkness that's closing in on him?
Right.
Or does he fight for his own soul? For the future of his friends, for the very survival of the Imperium.
It's a decision that'll have far-reaching consequences, not just for him, but for the galaxy as a whole.
I mean, and the visual representation of this struggle.
Oh, yeah.
Could be absolutely breathtaking.
It could be.
Right.
Yeah.
Like imagine the Necron tomb.
Yeah.
Already a place of otherworldly beauty.
Right.
Technological marvel.
Yeah.
Transformed into this maelstrom of psychic energy.
Wow.
Walls cracking, metal twisting and groaning.
Yeah.
Reality itself warping and distorting.
Yeah, it's a visual feast.
Around Harry, the Tyrannid biohorror, and Tom Riddle's Daemon host.
Exactly.
I mean, you're painting quite the picture here.
I'm trying.
But how does it all resolve?
Yeah.
Does Harry defeat the Tyrannid biohorror?
Okay.
Does he banish Tom Riddle's Daemon host back to the warp?
Yeah.
Does he even survive the encounter?
Yeah. I mean, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because remember, we're in the Warhammer 40K universe.
Right.
There are no easy victories.
Yeah.
No guaranteed happy ending.
Right.
So Harry might find a way to banish the Daemon host, but at a cost.
Okay.
Maybe scarring his own soul,
right.
Leaving him vulnerable to future corruption.
Okay.
The Tyrannid biohorror might be driven back into the depths of the tomb, but it's not destroyed. It's merely contained.
So it's like a ticking time bomb,
exactly,
waiting to be unleashed again.
Yeah.
So even in victory,
yeah,
there's this sense of unease,
right?
This lingering threat, that hangs over everything.
It's classic 40K.
It is. But what about the fallout?
Okay.
What happens to Harry, Ginny, Lucius, Dobby in the aftermath of this cataclysmic event?
All right, so let's start with Harry.
Okay.
He's emerged from the Necron tomb. Yeah.
Having faced down a Tyrannid biohorror,
right,
and a Daemon host, but he's changed.
Okay.
He's no longer just a latent psyker.
Right.
He's someone who's tapped into the raw power of the warp.
Okay.
He's tasted the forbidden fruits of chaos. He's a hero, but also a potential threat.
Right.
Someone who will be watched, monitored, perhaps even hunted.
Right.
By the very Imperium he's saved.
That's tragic irony, isn't it?
It is.
He's risked his life, his very soul, to protect the Imperium. And now he's seen as a potential enemy.
It speaks to the deep-seated paranoia and distrust that permeates this universe.
Yeah, it's like, thanks for saving us, but also we're watching you.
Exactly.
Like, that's rough.
It is.
And it sets up a fascinating dynamic.
Oh, yeah.
For future stories.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Harry's now walking this tightrope, trying to control his powers.
Resist the temptations of chaos.
Right.
While also navigating the treacherous political landscape of the Imperium. He's a hero, but he's also an outsider.
Right.
A figure of both awe and suspicion.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what about Ginny?
Okay, Ginny.
She's been through this traumatic ordeal.
Yeah.
Caught in the middle of this power play.
Right.
Between Lucius Malfoy and a Daemon host.
Yeah.
How does this experience shape her?
Well, in the original story,
yeah,
Ginny's portrayed as this shy, somewhat timid girl who eventually comes into her own.
Right.
So in this reimagining, her experience within the the Necron tomb could accelerate that transformation. Like she's seen the horrors of the 40K universe firsthand.
Yeah.
She's faced danger and then survived.
Right.
She could emerge from this ordeal.
Right.
Stronger, more resilient.
Okay.
Perhaps even with a newfound understanding of the psychic powers she shares with Harry.
So instead of being a damsel in distress,
right,
she becomes a survivor.
Yeah.
A potential force to be reckoned with.
Exactly. It gives her character more agency and depth.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Lucius Malfoy?
Oh, Lucius.
Does he get away with his manipulations?
I mean, not entirely, right?
Okay.
His schemes might have been thwarted, his plans disrupted,
right.
But he's a survivor. He's cunning, he's resourceful, and he's got powerful allies within the Imperium.
Right.
He might face a temporary setback, a loss of influence or status, but he's not going to simply disappear.
Right. He's like a cockroach.
Exactly.
You can't get rid of him that easily.
No.
He'll be plotting his revenge.
Right, yeah.
Waiting for the right moment to strike back at Harry, at Ginny, at anyone he perceives as having wronged him.
Absolutely. He's always lurking in the shadows.
Yeah, he's a constant threat.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Dobby?
Oh, Dobby.
Does his loyalty to Harry finally break free from his servitor programming?
That's a question that could be left open to interpretation or perhaps explored in a sequel.
Right.
We could see glimpses of Dobby struggling with his confering directives.
Yeah.
His mechanical mind trying to reconcile his loyalty to Lucius with his growing affection for Harry. Perhaps in a moment of crisis, he makes a choice that defies his programming.
Okay.
An act of self-sacrifice that proves his true allegiance lies with Harry.
That would be a fitting end for Dobby.
He would.
A moment of heroic defiance.
Yeah.
That transcends his servitor origins.
It would be a powerful reminder that even in the grimdark world of Warhammer 40K, there's still room for compassion, for loyalty, for hope.
Okay, so we've talked about the characters, the plot, the action sequences. But what about like the overall theme of this reimagined film? Like what are we trying to say with this adaptation?
So at its core, this reimagined Chamber of Secrets is a story about confronting darkness, both within ourselves and in the world around us.
Yeah.
It's about the choices we make in the face of overwhelming odds, the sacrifices we make for those we care about, and the struggle to maintain our humanity in a universe that seems determined to strip it away.
That's a powerful theme.
It is.
And one that resonates deeply with the Warhammer 40K universe.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a universe where hope is often a fleeting commodity, where survival is a constant struggle, and where even the most noble intentions can have unintended consequences.
They can.
But it's also a universe that, despite its darkness, offers these glimpses of heroism, of compassion, of the enduring strength, of the human spirit.
Exactly, and that's what makes this reimagining so compelling. It takes this familiar story, these beloved characters, and throws them into this crucible of conflict and despair, forcing them to confront not just external threats, but their own inner demons.
Right. So it's a dark tale.
It is
full of violence and horror.
Yeah.
But it's also a story about hope.
Right.
About resilience.
Yeah.
About the enduring power of friendship and love.
Absolutely.
In the face of unimaginable darkness.
It's a message that transcends any particular universe or genre.
Right. It's a message that speaks to the core of what it means to be human.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes this reimagined Chamber of Secrets not just a thrilling action movie, but also a thought-provoking exploration of the human condition.
Exactly. And that's why this reimagined Chamber of Secrets wouldn't just be a great Warhammer 40K film. It'd be a great film period. It would capture the essence of the 40K universe, while also offering a compelling and emotionally resonant story that would appeal to a wide audience.
I'm completely sold. This needs to happen.
Yeah.
Someone get Games Workshop and Warner Bros. On the phone right now.
Let's make this happen.
Right.
So we've got Harry Wright standing on the precipice of this like life-altering decision, facing this monstrous tyrannid bio-horror and the insidious whisper of a demon host.
Yeah, it's a lot for one kid to handle.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, this is like a classic hero's dilemma, right?
It is.
Like, does he compromise his values to defeat a greater evil, or does he hold on to his integrity?
Yeah.
Even if it means losing everything.
It's a tough choice.
It is, and it's that kind of moral complexity that I think elevates this story beyond just like a simple good versus evil narrative.
It's those gray areas that make it interesting.
Exactly, and it's a dilemma that I think reflects the Imperium's own struggles. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
They're constantly battling these threats that seem impossible to overcome.
Right.
And sometimes they have to resort to these questionable tactics.
Yeah, they have to make compromises that test their own moral boundaries.
Yeah, and Harry's struggle, it kind of mirrors the Imperium's own internal conflicts.
It does. It does.
It's like this microcosm
yeah.
of the larger struggle.
Right, the personal and the galactic.
Exactly. It adds this layer of depth and resonance to the entire narrative.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the action.
Okay. Yeah.
How do we translate this psychic showdown onto the screen?
Right.
Like, it's not like Harry can just pull out his wand and shout, "It's Expelliarmus."
No wands here.
No wands, no cheesy spells.
Right.
This is 40K.
40K action.
And so what are we thinking?
All right, so imagine this. A symphony of destruction.
Okay.
This visual cacophony of psychic energy and bioengineered weaponry.
All right, I'm listening.
The tyrannid biohorror. This grotesque fusion of alien flesh and razor-sharp appendages.
Right.
Lunges at Harry, its movements blurring with unnatural speed.
Okay.
And Harry, drawing on his raw psychic power, erects these shields of shimmering energy, deflecting the creature's attacks.
Okay, so he's on the defensive.
For now, yeah.
But it can't just be about defense, right?
No.
He has to fight back.
He does.
He has to push back against this monster.
Absolutely.
And this is where we can really showcase the raw power of psykers in the 40K universe.
Yeah, imagine Harry unleashing telekinetic blasts that send chunks of the Necron tomb hurtling through the air, crushing Necron warriors, disrupting the biohorror's attacks.
So he's using the environment to his advantage.
He is.
He's not just throwing psychic punches.
No.
He's using his powers to manipulate the entire battlefield.
Exactly. He's becoming one with the warp.
Oh, I like it. And remember, Tom Riddle's Daemon host is also in the mix.
Oh, absolutely.
He's not just sitting back and watching.
Oh, no.
He's an active participant.
Yeah.
Whispering temptations. Exploiting Harry's vulnerabilities. Trying to nudge him towards the abyss of chaos.
He's a puppet master, manipulating events, trying to orchestrate Harry's downfall.
Right.
Even as he's battling the tyrannid biohorror.
Right. So it's like a three-way dance of death.
It is.
This chaotic ballet of psychic energy and monstrous rage.
Yeah, imagine the Daemon host, this shadowy figure wreathed in warp energy, unleashing psychic attacks of his own.
Okay.
Not directly at Harry, but at the tyrannid creature, trying to goad it into even greater frenzy.
Right, to push Harry to his breaking point.
Exactly. It's psychological warfare on a cosmic scale.
This is the kind of action sequence that could leave audiences breathless.
Oh, absolutely.
But amidst all this chaos.
Yeah.
What about Ginny?
Oh, Ginny.
What role does she play in this climactic battle?
She's not just a bystander, remember.
Okay.
Ginny has latent psychic abilities of her own. She might not be as powerful as Harry, but she's not helpless.
Right.
Imagine her caught in the crossfire. of this psychic battle.
Yeah.
Her own powers awakening.
Okay.
Maybe unconsciously mirroring Harry's actions.
Right.
Deflecting stray blasts of energy, creating momentary distractions that give Harry a fighting chance.
So she's not a superhero.
No.
But she's contributing
a part, yeah.
She's holding her own.
Exactly. And it's a subtle way to foreshadow her own potential journey as a psyker.
Right. Maybe setting up a future storyline.
Absolutely.
Okay, but let's get back to the main event.
Okay.
How does Harry ultimately prevail?
Yeah.
Does he rely solely on his psychic powers?
Okay.
Or is there another element at play?
This is where the Necron tomb itself becomes a key factor.
Yeah.
Remember, this is a place of ancient technology, of dormant power waiting to be unleashed.
Right.
So imagine Harry in a moment of desperation, intuitively tapping into the tomb's energy, maybe even channeling it through his own psychic abilities.
So he's not just fighting the tyrannid biohorror and the demon host.
Yeah.
He's also wielding the power of the long-dead alien civilization.
Exactly.
Talk about a game changer.
Oh, it's a huge risk.
Yeah.
But potentially a huge reward.
Right. It's a high-stakes gamble.
It is. Channeling Necron technology is dangerous.
Yeah.
It's unpredictable.
Right.
It could easily backfire.
But it also has the potential to turn the tide of battle.
Absolutely.
To give Harry the edge he needs to survive.
Yeah, I can picture it now.
Yeah.
Harry bathed in this eerie glow of Necron energy, unleashing a blast of power that sends both the tyrannid biohorror and the demon host reeling.
It's a visual spectacle.
It is.
That would just leave audiences speechless.
Oh, absolutely.
But what's the price of victory? What are the consequences of wielding such forbidden power?
That's the crucial question.
Yeah.
Because there are always consequences in the Warhammer 40K universe.
Nothing comes for free.
Nothing comes for free.
So what are we thinking?
So maybe tapping into the Necron technology leaves a mark on Harry's soul.
Okay.
A taint of ancient evil that could make him more susceptible to chaos.
Right. Or maybe it attracts the attention of other factions within the Imperium.
Right.
Those who seek to control such powerful artifacts.
Exactly. So even as he defeats the immediate threats, Harry's actions create new dangers, challenges.
It's a victory, but a bittersweet one.
It is.
Full of uncertainty and potential consequences.
Very 40K.
Very 40K, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about the aftermath?
Okay.
What happens to the other characters?
All right, so Lucius Malfoy.
Yeah.
Having witnessed Harry's power, his ability to wield Necron technology might see him as even more of a threat, or perhaps an even more valuable asset to control.
Right.
His schemes might shift, becoming more insidious, more focused on manipulating Harry rather than simply eliminating him.
He's like a viper.
He is.
Always lurking in the shadows.
Yeah.
Waiting to strike.
Always a threat.
Yeah, and Ginny. How does this experience change her?
So Ginny, having witnessed firsthand the horrors of the 40K universe, having felt the stirrings of her own psychic potential, would no longer be the innocent girl we first met. She might emerge from this ordeal with a newfound sense of purpose. A desire to understand her powers, to learn how to control them, perhaps even to join Harry in his future struggles.
It's a transformation that would be both exciting and terrifying.
It is.
She's stepping into a world of danger, a world where she'll have to confront not only external threats, but the darkness within herself.
Yeah, it's a coming of age story.
It is.
But with cosmic horror and psychic battles.
Exactly, a very 40K coming of age story.
Exactly. Okay, and Dobby.
Dobby.
What becomes of him?
I mean, that's a question that could be left open to interpretation.
Yeah.
Or perhaps explored in a sequel.
Right.
We could see him struggling to reconcile his servitor programming with his loyalty to Harry. Maybe ultimately sacrificing himself.
Oh, wow.
To protect Harry from a final desperate attack by by Lucius, or the remnants of the tyrannid biohorror.
So he goes out a hero.
He does.
A true friend to the end.
A loyal companion. Yeah, it would underline that theme of sacrifice.
Absolutely.
That runs through the entire story.
Yeah.
And what about the Necron tomb itself?
Oh yeah, the tomb.
Does it remain sealed?
Yeah, okay.
Or does its awakening have wider ramifications?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And one that could lead to some fascinating sequels or spin-offs.
Right, like maybe the tomb's awakening alerts other Necron forces, stores them from their millennia-long slumber.
Yeah, and sets the stage for this larger conflict between the Imperium and these ancient technologically advanced beings.
It's a chilling thought.
It is.
And one that perfectly captures the vast interconnected nature of the Warhammer 40K universe.
It shows that every action has consequences.
Right.
Every victory sows the seeds of future conflicts.
It's like this never-ending cycle.
It is the cycle of war.
Of war and struggle and conflict.
That's 40K in a nutshell.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Yeah. What's the takeaway message from this reimagined Chamber of Secrets?
All right, so we want audiences to feel the weight of darkness.
Okay.
The ever-present threat of chaos, the fragility of hope.
Right.
In a universe that seems determined to crush it.
Yeah.
But we also want them to feel inspired.
Okay.
By the resilience of the human spirit, by the courage to fight for what's right, even when the odds seem insurmountable.
It's a message that resonates deeply with 40K.
It does.
But it's also a universal message.
Yeah. Right.
Right. One that speaks to the challenges we all face in our own lives.
Right. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there's always a flicker of hope, a spark of defiance that can ignite the fires of change.
And that's the beauty of taking a story like Harry Potter, and transplanting it into the 40K universe.
It amplifies those themes.
Yeah.
It forces us to confront that darkness.
Yeah.
Both within ourselves and in the world around us.
So there you have it, listeners.
Yeah.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
Reimagined for the grim darkness of the 41st millennium.
Yeah.
It's a story of courage, sacrifice, and the enduring power of hope.
Yeah.
In a universe where hope is often in short supply.
It's a story for our times.
It is.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the heart of the Imperium.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Stay vigilant.
Stay safe.
And may the Emperor protect.
And the Emperor protect.
Like and subscribe for the God Emperor or suffer his wrath.